If your cold emails are landing in spam, you're not just losing meetings, you're burning your domain reputation and making it harder to ever reach prospects again. I've coached over 350 SDRs, BDRs, and A's on cold email, and the number one thing that kills their results isn't messaging, it's deliverability. So in this video, I'm walking you through the exact checklist I use before launching any campaign to make sure email lands in the inbox, plus how to diagnose and fix deliverability issues fast if you're already in spam. And look, when I first started as an SDR, I sent 2,000 cold emails in my first month and booked one meeting. And I couldn't figure out what was going wrong. My open rates looked decent, about 35%. I thought people were seeing my emails, but it turns out most of those opens were just bots, not real people, because my emails were landing in spam. I was burning through entire prospect lists without even getting a fair shot at booking meetings, and it was so bad, I actually got my whole email inbox deleted and had to start a completely fresh one. And here's the thing, most reps don't even know they're in spam until it's too late. They just keep sending, thinking their messaging is the problem, when really their technical setup is broken. So in this video, I'm breaking it down into three parts. Part one, the technical checklist that you need to run before you launch any cold email campaigns. Part two, which is how to diagnose if you're already in spam and what's causing it. And then part three, which is the exact steps to fix deliverability issues fast so you can actually start booking meetings again. Oh, and just so you know, this isn't theory, like this is the exact process I use to average 138% as an SDR, maintain an 8% response rate and help my clients in outbound OS. Go from 3% response rates to sometimes 12% like Frank, just by fixing their email setup structure. So let's get into it. So as I said, part one is the technical side. So the first thing you need to understand is that deliverability isn't one thing that you can just switch and suddenly is fixed. It's multiple factors that work together. And if even one of these is broken, then you're going to spam. So let me run you through the exact checklist that I run through myself before launching any of my own cold email campaigns. So step one is the domain setup and DNS records. Now, this is the very first thing in your domain setup. This is where most people mess up because they either buy cheap domains from sketchy providers or they just don't set up DNS at all. So here's what you need. Buy a domain from a trusted source like Namecheap or GoDaddy. Now I know there's cheaper solutions out there, but GoDaddy Namecheap has the best reverse DNS out the box. So your domain reputation starts the second you purchase it, so don't just go for the cheapest option available. Set up your DNS record. You need 4 records configured. SPF, which stands for Sender Policy Framework. This tells email servers that you're allowed to send from this domain. The second thing is DKIM, which is Domain Keys Identified Mail. This authenticates your emails with a digital signature. The next thing is DMARC, which is Domain-Based Message Authentication. This tells servers what you do if your emails fail SPF or DKIM. And the last one is MX Records. Now, this routes your emails correctly. Now, if you're looking at tools like Instantly, SmartLead, or Lemlist, then they usually have guides on how to set all of this up. But here's the key. Test your setup before you actually start sending. Go to a site like MX Tool or Mail Tester and run your domain through it. You should see green check marks across the board, and if anything's red or yellow, then fix it before you send an email. This is so important because if you miss this or don't set up your DNS records, email servers are going to see you as a spammer immediately. So it doesn't matter how good your copy is, if you're going to spam, you're never going to get responses and book meetings. The second thing is domain warm up. So once you've got your domain set up, we need to get it warmed before we start sending emails. Tons of people think they could just buy a domain and start blasting emails the next day, and that's the quickest way to get blacklisted. So here's how domain warm actually works. So when you buy a new domain, it has 0 reputation, which basically means that the email servers don't trust you yet. So you need to build that trust up gradually by sending a small number of emails that get positive engagement, like opens, replies, and no reports of spam. So my warm-up process is pretty simple. Send 5 to 10 emails per day from each inbox, and gradually increase it over time to 15 and 20 emails per day. The best thing you can do, instead of gradually ramping up your emails, is use a tool like Instantly, Warmbox, or Lemwarm to warm up your domain naturally. This is going to send emails back and forth between your domain and other domains to make sure that none of your emails land in spam and your domain is actually protected. And again, do not skip warm up. I've seen reps try to rush this and start sending hundreds of emails after a few days and completely burn their domains in 48 hours and have to buy new ones. So once your domain's blacklisted, it's almost impossible to recover, so you just have to buy a new one and start again. So just make sure to do it right the first time to save yourself a lot of headaches down the road. Next is your email service provider. And look, not all ESPs are created email. So I recommend you set it up on a strong ESP, something like Google Workspace, Gmail, or even Microsoft 365 with Outlook are the gold standard because they have the highest trust scores with receiving servers. A lot of people try to save money using some sort of private or cheap ESP and then wonder why they landed in spam. It's because most of these servers don't have anywhere near the reputation of Google or Microsoft. For me personally, I use Google Workspace for all of my primary sender domains, but I would recommend to set a few up on Outlook as well, as Outlook to Outlook emails tend to perform better than Gmail to Outlook, etc. I often buy 3 mailboxes per domain, so if I have 5 domains, that's going to be 15 different mailboxes, and I rotate between these different mailboxes to spread the sending volume. So if you need to send 200 emails from one mailbox in a day, you're just going to trigger spam. But if you send 40 emails from 5 different mailboxes, you're going to stay under the spam limit radars and be able to still land in the primary inbox. And that brings me to sending volume. You should never be sending more than 50 emails per day per mailbox when you're starting out. Once your domain is fully warmed after 4 to 6 weeks, you can maybe go to 50, but honestly, I keep it very safe and don't go above a maximum of 40 emails per mailbox per day. Most of my campaigns, especially at high volume, are sitting around 30 emails per day per mailbox. And this is so important because email providers like Gmail and Outlook have internal thresholds where if you send too many emails too fast, they're just going to flag you as a spammer, even if everything else is set up correctly. So if you want to send 500 emails per day, you're going to need to set up multiple inboxes. Now, it's not sexy, but it works, and you do have to do it to make sure you're in the best spot. So that's the pre-launch checklist, and if you nail those 4 things, domain warm-up, ESP choice, and volume limits, you're already ahead of 95% of SDRs, and to be honest, most companies, because they don't even do this stuff. So now let's actually talk about how to diagnose if you're already in spam. Because a lot of reps don't realize they're in spam until it's too late and they're on a PIP or getting fired from their role. The first thing you need to do is look at your actual campaign metrics. If your open rates are below 30%, you're probably going to be in spam. A healthy cold email campaign should have anywhere from 40 to 60% open rates, depending on the quality of your list. If your open rates are below 2%, again, you're probably going to be landing in spam. If people can't see your emails, they're not going to respond. And if you're booking 0 meetings from hundreds, if not thousands of emails sent, you could have bad copy, of course, but you're probably going to be in spam. Now, here's the tricky part. High open rates don't always mean you're in the inbox, and I learned this one the hard way myself. In the first campaign that I launched as a rep, as I mentioned, I had a 35% open rate, but only booked 1 meeting from 2,000 emails sent. What was the biggest reason? Because most of those opens were just bots in the email providers scanning for spam and not actual people reading my emails. The second thing is to run a deliverability test. So instead of relying on opens, you need to actually test your deliverability. There's tons of apps that can do this, things like Mail Tester or Glock apps. These tools let you send a test email to them and they'll show whether you're landing in the inbox, spam, or promotions tab, what's wrong with your DNS setup, whether you're on any blacklists, and your spam score as a whole. My process is quite simple. Before launching any campaign, I send a test email through Mail Tester, and I want to see a score of anywhere from 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. If it's below an 8, I'm not even going to launch it until I fix what's broken. And Glock Apps is even better because it shows you your inbox placement across different providers like Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, etc. So you can see if you're landing in Gmail inboxes but going to spam an Outlook. So if you're already sending campaigns and you think you may be in spam, pause everything and run this test immediately. The next thing is to check for blacklists. Check if your domain or IP is on any blacklists. Go to a tool like MX Toolbox, Blacklist Check, enter your domain, and if you're on Spam or Spam Corp or any major blacklist, you're screwed. Your emails aren't getting through at all. Now, there's a few things that can cause your domain being blacklisted. That's sending too many emails too fast, high spam complaints, so people marking your emails as spam, sending to invalid email addresses, so super high bounce rates, or poor email authentication, so no SPF, DKIM, DMARC, as we spoke about earlier. If you're blacklisted, you have 2 simple options. Number one, you can request removal. Some blacklists will let you do it, but it's not guaranteed and won't happen most of the time. And the second is to just buy a new domain and start over. And honestly, this is the faster option that I recommend to most reps. Finally, you need to monitor your bounce rates and spam complaints. If your bounce rate is above 5%, your list quality is horrific. You're sending to bad emails and that's tanking your reputation. And if your spam complaints are above 0.1%, your messaging's off, or maybe you're just targeting the wrong people. And even one spam complaint across 1,000 emails can hurt your domain. So there's a few ways you can go about fixing this. The first is to use list cleaning tools like Never Bounce or Zero Bounce. to make sure you have a lower bounce rate. The second is to make sure you have an unsubscribe link in all of your emails and it's easy to find. Instead of people reporting you as spam, they can just unsubscribe. And the last is to only send to people who actually fit your ICP. Don't just blast out emails to thousands of irrelevant people. All right, so if you've diagnosed that you're in spam, here's how to actually fix it. So you've run the test, you know you're in spam, now what? So there's a few things that I would do. The first thing, and I can't emphasize this enough, is to stop sending emails immediately. If you keep sending while you're in spam, you're making it worse. You're burning your domain, burning your prospecting list, and just digging yourself into a deeper hole. Pause all your campaigns, fix the issues first, then resume sending once you're in a good spot. Next, go back to that pre-launch checklist that I gave you earlier in the video and fix what's broken. Run through all of them. Are your SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and MX records set up correctly? Is your domain warmed up or did you rush it? Are you sending from Gmail or Outlook or some random ESP? Are you staying under that 40 emails per day per mailbox or are you sending way above? If your DNS records are broken, fix them. Just Google your different email tool with SPF/DKIM setup and just follow the guides online. If your warm up was rushed, stop sending for 2 weeks and let your warm up tool do its thing. This is so important and will save you months of time if you do it correctly. And the last one, if you're sending too much volume, just cut your daily sends in half and add more mailboxes to spread the load across them. Next, clean your list. Go to Neverbounce, ZeroBounce, or any different tool and upload your prospect list. These tools are going to remove all the invalid emails, spam traps, or role-based emails like info or admin app. Every bounced email is going to hurt your sender reputation. If you're bouncing 10% of your emails, you're just telling Gmail and Outlook that you don't know who you're sending to, and that's a red flag. After cleaning, you should have a bounce rate below 2%, and if you're still bouncing more than that, your list source is just terrible, so find a better data provider. Okay, so here's something most people don't realize. Your email copy can actually trigger the spam filters themselves. If you're using words like free, guarantee, money back, limited time offer, if you have too many links in the email, if you have images, especially in the first email, if you send messages in all caps or have excessive punctuation, or even HTML formatting, you can get marked as spam. What you should be doing instead is writing super short emails with 3 to 4 sentences, using plain text so it looks like a real marketing email, having one clear CTA, not 15 different links and a calendar embedded, and personalizing the first line to make it relevant for them. I've seen reps fix deliverability just by removing images and removing links from their signature with their company website, and sometimes it's as simple as that. Finally, you need to monitor your metrics closely. After you fix everything, there's a few things you need to look for. Are your open rates climbing back to 40 to 60%? Then that's a pretty good sign. Are your reply rates improving? That's even better. And if you're getting no spam complaints or bounces, then you're back in business. And if you're still not seeing improvement after 1 to 2 weeks, might be time to just buy a new domain and start fresh. Sometimes it's faster than trying to salvage a burned old domain. All right, so just to recap, before you launch any campaign, number one, set up your DNS records correctly with SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and MX. Number two, warm up your domain for at least 2 to 4 weeks. Number three, use Google Workspace or Microsoft 365 for your ESP. And number four, keep your send volume under 40 emails per day per mailbox. If you're already in spam, number one, stop sending all your emails immediately. Number two, fix the technical setup. Number three, clean your email list to remove invalid emails. Number four, rework your messaging with plain text, no spam trigger words. And number five, monitor your metrics and adjust based on the changes. And look, deliverability isn't the sexiest of topics when it comes to cold emails. It's not the fun part of writing subject lines or cool CTAs, but if you skip this, none of that stuff matters. You could have the best email in the world, but if it's landed in spam, no one's ever going to respond. And I've coached over 350 SDRs, BDRs, and AEs, and the ones who hit quota consistently all have one thing in common. They take deliverability very serious. They don't just blast emails and hope for the best. They actually structure a system to support them and build an infrastructure that sets them up to win. So if you want any of my help building and optimizing your entire outbound system, and not just deliverability, but from messaging, targeting, follow-ups, and the whole thing, then feel free to book a call below. The link's in the description, and we'll just walk you through the setup, see if it's a fit, and if it makes sense, we can work together. But either way, I hope this video was useful. Drop a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.